It all began, as these things usually do, with Amelia being extremely dramatic. There was nothing particularly surprising about that. Amelia was usually dramatic. What was unusual was that she was being dramatic at a softball game. It should be noted that plenty of people get excited at softball games. However, that's typically because they're watching the game and have strong feelings about how their team is doing. However, when Amelia began shouting, it had nothing to do with the game. In fact, she wasn't even aware that there was a softball game going on at all. On the other hand, Sloane noticed the game, maybe because she was in it. The sun hit her eyes as she stepped up to bat. She tugged at the brim of her cap and squinted. Overhead, the sun panted in the sky above the Wasion softball diamonds, as though trying to find a cloud with which to shade itself, and finding none. Puffs of dust rose from the grass in the outfield, which had turned crispy and brown with the July heat. Nearby, a train rumbled along the tracks, shaking loose chunks of gravel and adding even more dust into the air. On the pitcher's mound, Mackenzie Snyder squinted back at Sloane. She wasn't trying to block out the dazzling sunlight, however. She was doing it because she didn't like what she was seeing. Specifically, Sloane. Shrugging, Sloane hefted her bat onto her shoulder and braced her legs. She knew how Mackenzie pitched, just a little too close to the batter's body. Not close enough to hit them, just close enough to make a nervous batter flinch backward. Fortunately, Sloane wasn't nervous. Her teammates called her Slayer Sloane for her killer nerves under pressure. But as Mackenzie cranked back her pitching arm, Amelia appeared in the far parking lot near the high school, running and shrieking, "Sloane!" Instinctively, Sloane's head twitched away from Mackenzie and toward her friend. Short and with a fiery mane of red curls, Amelia had made it across the parking lot and now ran along the chain-link fence, separating right field from a creek bristling with wildflowers. "Strike one!" the umpire cried as the softball whizzed past Sloane and was caught by Mackenzie's teammate, Kylie. "Aw, Mr. Roth!" Sloane turned toward her 7th-grade English teacher. He made extra money in the summertime by umpiring softball games. "I was distracted." "Sorry, Sloane." He crossed his arms. "That's on you. Mac's pitch was perfectly good." Out on the mound, Mackenzie cackled as Kylie slung the ball back to her. "Sloane! Sloane! Sloane! Sloane!" Amelia tried to climb the chain-link fence. Neither terribly coordinated nor wearing very good shoes for it. She didn't succeed. "Sloane! You won't believe the news!" News? In spite of herself, Sloane found her attention jerked toward Amelia again. Whatever it was, it probably had to do with their detective agency and YouTube channel, Osborne and Miller Poe Investigations. "Mr. Roth, can I please have a second?" Sloane begged, but her teacher-turned-umpire shook his head. "Sorry, Sloane," he said again. "Not unless your coach calls a timeout." Over in the shade of the ancient dugout, Sloane's entire team glared at her, daring her to use up one of their precious timeouts.